pick up in the middle of the Mesilas Yesharim's Hakdama introduction, and he's bringing this point home of how much a person has to work in Yirat Shamayim and Abbas Hashem and all these topics which a person naturally doesn't spend enough time on. V'hinei, ma sha'omer Shlomo, that which Shlomo said, wisest of men in Mishlei, Proverbs, in tevachshenu chakesef, if you seek it like silver, chamadmonim, a madmon is a hidden thing, a buried thing, techapsena, you search for it, techapes, as, then, tavin yirat Hashem, then you'll understand the fear of God. Eino Omer, says Rabbeinu, as tavin philosophia, then you'll understand philosophy. As tavin tchuna, then you will understand tchuna, you'll understand engineering. Baruch. As tavin refuah, then you'll understand medicine. As tavin dinim, then you'll understand dinim. As tavin halachot. Okay, and again, he's definitely speaking about those spending too much time in secular studies, but he's also talking about those spending too much time in Torah studies. It's clear. Ella as tavin yirat Hashem, then you'll understand yirat Hashem. Harei lecha, so you see, shelahavin hayirat sarach levakish otok ketzef l'chapes otok kemadmonim. Says the Mesilas Yesharim, just let Shlomo Melech talk to us in his simple words, then you'll understand yirat Hashem. So it means yirat Hashem is something we have to look for, we have to search for. It's not naturally understood by us. Harei efo, where? What is taught us from our fathers, and we go back to the line, which is like known to us, taught us, from our fathers. It's not enough with that's been taught for us by our fathers, or that which is before some. Then this is an important line, and this gives a chizuk to many of those listening here, because the Mesilas Yesharim was writing to a religious crowd, and when he was writing, almost everybody was religious, right? You had your off apikoris, etc., the one who left, the person who went to the church, etc. But generally, the Jewish people was from. It's an important thing to understand in world history that really the world was much more religious, and rationalism and the Enlightenment took God out of the picture and put man in the middle of the picture. I've seen social scientists talking about, well, who's in the middle of the picture today in world society? Religion, Baruch Hashem, is, I don't know if it's making a comeback, it's still strong, but that's a question. But once upon a time, God was in the middle, then, I saw a quote one time, Nietzsche said, God is dead. And God said, Nietzsche is dead. Anyway, but rationalism, it's important to know that just historically, Kadosh Baruch Hu used to be in the middle. People were religious. The world in general was religious. America put their money in God we trust. Would they write that today? Not sure. Maybe it depends which government, etc. But think about it. God we trust is an amazing thing to put on your money, Baruch Hashem. So amazing, really an amazing thing, a beautiful thing. Something in Russia, certainly since the Bolsheviks would definitely not have said. So God was in the middle. So, but anyway. But the Mesilas Yesharim is talking to that, and he's saying, look, you know things from your parents, and it's before some. So here's the mile in our generation, because there's so many Bali Tshuva, and so many mitchazkim, people who, on one level at least, are far more religious than their parents, more singularly dedicated to the Dvar Hashem in a certain way. We have to respect our parents, and our parents are amazing, but I think everybody understands what I'm saying, and I certainly don't mean offense to anybody, chas v'shalom. So therefore, we have those of that category. In a certain way, there's so much movement in Klal Yisrael today, and so much tshuva movement today. Thank you, Hashem. People are looking today for more, and it's a nice generation that way. So therefore, we have to step up, because those who are strongly set in a system, it's harder for them to hear a new message, and it's harder for them to go out of themselves. So in that way, it's a segula of lack of background, we'll call it. Oh, and Nimtzazman, or is this where we're going to be, friends? For all other studies, we'll find time. Question mark, exclamation point. This we won't have time for, right? If you don't have time, you don't have time. But other things you have time for, and you have time for that. Why doesn't a person have set times? Just like we have in Shulchan Aruch, Chuflin Hey, You have the person has to be kovei itim l'Torah for sure. That's one of the demarcation points for religiosity, if you will. That a person is kovei itim l'Torah. I want a marry a boy is kovei itim l'Torah. My goal is to be kovei itim l'Torah. Every yeshiva sees that as a goal, but we have to be kovei itim for this also. That's what Rabbeinu was saying. Lama lo yikveh, why not? Why can't you spend 10 minutes a week after chakras on Fridays learning Musar? 15 minutes before Mincha and Shabbos. For sure you have to spend time, and I'm speaking to myself, we have to spend time in Gemara and other things, right? He's not apostling those on Limud, he's certainly not, God forbid, apostling Limud Torah. But how can it be that we find time for all other things and not for those? If he must, during his other times, it's true. A person has a lot to do. You have to take care of your kids, you have to take care of your wives, you have to be good wives, you have to, etc. Children, parnasa, learning, but some time. And I want to add that I've heard many in our generation. I think the great Rosh Hashiva of the Mir, Nosson Tzvi Finkel, used to tell Avraham to learn Musar for 7 minutes with their wives. 7 minutes, right? I'm sure you'll be happy if they learn 4 times a week, 7 minutes. That means Gedolim understood that we're not in a time where people can spend 5 hours, and really we are really pressed for time, and unfortunately people have to work a lot harder often today than they used to have to work, more demanding hours, depends on what you're in, finance, law, doctor, med school, your own business, startups. There's a lot of busyness, but in all the hours of the week, we have to find time for this also. And it can be short periods, but quality periods. Turn the tone off, put it in airplane mode. I'm very much a fan of the timer, then you're not nervous, maybe it's over. God forbid, did I go over the 5 minutes yet? You can put on a timer, and then rest assured, and then focus. I want to focus on Yerush Hashem. I want to think a little bit about Avos Hashem. I want to think about my midas. How am I doing kas? Am I being friendly? Am I being patient? It's before Pesach cleaning. It's before building a sukkah. I'm moving. Am I being patient? I happen to be moving right now. I'm in the middle of a move as I speak to you. Am I being patient? No, I'm moving. I can't be patient. Wait. Is that really who you want to be? You want to be an impatient person just because you're moving? No. But you have to spend time. You have to catch yourself. You have to think about yourself. You have to be sincere. You have to be real. You have to be critical of yourself in a good way. How am I living life? Am I wasting time? Am I wasting too much time? Taking breaks, yes, but am I wasting time? Hinei, he piles in another pasuk. If it wasn't enough for Mishlei, it's an Eov. I want to say a word about Eov. I find many like great psukim, quote unquote. It's all good, right? The whole Torah is great, of course. But I mean, you know what I mean, right? I have many quotes from Eov, that are brought down. He comes from Omer. He years, and what did Eov tell us? What did Job tell us? Hein years Hashem yichachma. Yes, one. Years Hashem yichachma. V'amar Rabbi Sina Zechron L'Varach the Gemara says Hein is achas. The lashon Hein. What's Hein? They years Hashem yichachma. No, Hein is a language of one. Yira is chachma. It's wisdom. Harei she'yira hi chachma. Be levada chachma. It has a certain singularity of being wisdom. I can't explain that, what makes it singularly wise, right? But it has a certain singularity. The wisdom is Yirat Hashem. Now, it's not wisdom, that's not something you have to go into. Ach emes the truth is ki iyun gadol. Sorry, we need a lot of iyun. We have to work on these things. Al kol dvar meila. L'dadotam be'emet. To really understand what's the Yeras Hashem, to really understand what Avos Hashem is, to really know how to fix our midos, to really know how to have proper kavanah, all the things that Rabbeinu talks about, as we'll talk about, all these things need real work and not fast answers and sound bites. That's just to know them. All the more so, all the more so if you want to acquire them. To reach them. Yira, and someone who will be midbonin, someone who will reflect, yidbonain, bina, lidbonain. Yira, she'enes chidus tali b'otam dvarim sheyachshavu ha-midchasdim atifshim. The things that the foolish midchasdim think are wisdom. El b'divrei shleimus amiti, it's true shleimus, v'chachma rabba. Hinei, Huma Moshe Rabbeinu. All of us, now Rabbosai, we're going to see here the genius of the Ramchal. It's been said, I didn't make it up, but I've thought about it many times, that the genius of the Ramchal, part of it, we can obviously get into the genius of the Ramchal. We're talking about someone who spoke to Yaakov, someone who spoke to Abram, someone who spoke to Elio. So we can talk about the genius of the Ramchal. But part of the genius of the Ramchal is his incredible organization of things. There are 26 chapters in Mesilas Yesharim, and here's the basic midah, and here's what's marchik you, and here's how to be coded. Just like, in a similar way to the Rambam, right? The Rambam wasn't just a lot of halachos and figure out what the psak is. It was, he put it together into 14 books with this many halachos, with this many prakim, and this is this parak. And those that know that there are many diukim, many inferences to made for why the Rambam put halacha here and then put it there, and why is this halacha for that halacha. In fact, Rabbeim writes in his Chuvas Chod B'Shulish that the Iker Havan in the Rambam, the main Havan in the Rambam comes out of that, which really we don't do, myself included. You just learn the Rambam. Here's a Rambam. But what did he say before? What did he say after? Why did he put it there? Why did he put it there? That's a whole world of Limud Rambam. So in a similar way, different Chacham have different kolchos, that the Mesilas Yesharim was an unbelievable masader. He was unbelievably organized, and he saw things. And one of the great examples, which I'm going to point out, which I only appreciated at the third or fourth or fifth time that I learned the Mesilas Yesharim, or at least this part, that I saw and understood it. So let's see. Now, Basha Moshe Rabbeinu this is Dvarim Yud. All the way Dvarim Yud. What does God ask you? Yira Lelech's B'chol Drochav, going in his ways, which is basically Midos. La'avo to worship him with a pure heart, with a full heart. Lishmor and mitzvahs and to be shomer Hashem. Now, both sides, we would have read this pasuk and just it's another one of those psukim in Dvarim which tells you to do a lot of stuff. But what did Rabbeinu see in this pasuk? Kan kol chalki shleimus avod and izal shmois baruch. No. In this pasuk, Davka, this is the one which has the 5 yisodas of shleimus avoda. And if you're good on these 5, you're in very good shape. V'heim hayira. Halicha b'drachim, going in his ways. Ha'ava, loving him. Shleimus halev, which we'll have to explain more. Full-heartedness. Ushmiras kol mitzvahs. Now, wow. So those are the 5 chalkis. So again, I want you to notice that and note that this is the genius of the Ramchal to see that from all the psukim in Shmos and Bamidbar and Vayikra and Bereshis and Tanakh and Dvarim, to see that this pasuk is it. You want to know the 5 chalki? It's Yira, it's Ava, it's Halich B'Drachav, it's Shmiras Kol Mitzvahs, and it's La'av D'B'chol. These are the 5 halakim a person can have for himself. These are my 5 goal points in life. These are my 5 goals in life. To be really good at these. I'll just say a certain thing. Most of us are happy if we're accomplishing just in Shmiras and Mitzvahs. I want to be a Shapell Yid. But it must be noted that's only 1/4 of the picture. Ava, Yira, Halich B'Drachav, which is Tikkun Midas. La'av D'B'chol Shmiras Kol Mitzvahs. So Shulchan Aruch, Shmiras Kol Mitzvahs is 1/5 of the picture. Very, very good, outstanding. But there's another 4 halakim to get there, and Bezrat Hashem, with the help of the Mesilas Yesharim, we'll get there.